Hello guys, welcome back again, and this is another video from Primeside. This video is a continuation of our previous video where we did the recipe calculation. If you're watching this video now and you've not watched the previous one, I advise that you go back so you can get a better understanding, and if you've done that, we can just move into this video. Do have to subscribe if you've not done that. Like I said in the previous video, the next stage is the measuring of our ingredients. We've already calculated the ingredients, the formulation calculation in the previous video, and we've also calculated the total volume against the percentage. So here we're just going to go ahead and measure our ingredient. The first ingredients here we're going to be measuring is the base, which is the water, and I'm going to be using distilled water here. Distilled water is best for your skincare formulation. I wouldn't advise you to use just any water because it's gonna grow microorganisms and it's gonna eventually spoil your production. So distilled water is perfect for any kind of formulation as this. So like our calculation, we got water, which is the base, to be 187.5 ml. So I'm just gonna go straight here and measure 187.5 ml of distilled water. So to make up phase A, I'm supposed to be adding vegetable glycerin to this beaker, but I'm not going to do that right now, and I'll tell you the reason why in the video. Meanwhile, I'm having 188 ml of water here because my scale only measures in whole number. I can't place my hands on my smaller scale that measures in fraction. So, but it's fine. I think this is an approximate number. So I'm going to measure for phase B containing emollient and the rest. I'll be using pure almond oil here because pure almond oil can be used by all skin types, combination skin, normal skin, oily skin, whatever is suitable for all skin types. So this lotion is just a versatile lotion, and so anybody can use it. And on our calculation, we got oils to be 12.5 grams. So I'm just going to measure it up to 13 grams here because, like I said, my scale does not measure in fractions, so it can measure 0.5. So I just have to make it a whole number. So here is 13 grams already of our oil. So I'm going to be adding the waxes to this beaker because this beaker is for phase B and we have our waxes in phase B. So the two waxes I'm going to be using here is E-wax, also known as emulsifying wax, and cetyl alcohol. So I'm just going to be measuring these two into our phase B beaker. Please do not ask me any questions if you didn't watch this video to the end, and if you did not watch the previous video, because I think I tried my best to make sure this video is understandable. But if you did and you're still confused, no problems. So because I'm using two waxes and we are supposed to measure 12.5 grams of waxes, I'm going to be measuring one to be 8 grams and the other to be 5 grams, which will give us 13 grams, and that's an approximate number as well. Always make sure cetyl alcohol is smaller because it's not an emulsifier but a thickener. Well, our phase B is not done measured, but we're going to set this aside still, and then we're going to be measuring our butter separately. It will be too risky to measure our butters directly into this place. So I'll be measuring 5 grams of shea butter. I'm using shea butter here, although you can substitute this butter to any butter of your choice, mango butter, avocado butter, whatsoever butter you would want to use. So I'm just going to minimize this until I get 5 grams. So I didn't measure the butter in the phase B because it will be really hard for me to minimize it like this to get the particular gram I wanted. On getting our 5 grams, I'll just add this to our phase B, and this should complete our phase B. So we'll just go and move ahead to our phase C, which is our active ingredients. So in our previous calculation video, we said we are going to be using ascorbic acid and niacinamide, which is vitamin C and vitamin B powders as our active in this formulation. So here are my actives, and we are using 3% of our actives in the total formulation. So when we calculated that, we got 7.5 grams of powders. So after measuring my active powders, I'm still going to set this aside. And this is my phase C. I'm not going to be measuring my phase D now. I'm going to be adding them after the formulation. So because our actives are water soluble powders, vitamin C and vitamin B, I'm going to be dissolving them with water. This was the reason why I didn't add vegetable glycerin to our phase A at first. So I'm just going to dissolve my powders in water. Note that if you have oil soluble powders, you have to dissolve them in oils. So because my powders are water soluble, I had to dissolve with water, and as you can see, they are almost totally dissolved. I'm going to set them aside so that they can dissolve properly. And then I'm just going to go back with my phase A to my measuring scale. I'm going to measure in my vegetable glycerin in my phase A. And so for vegetable glycerin, we had 5%, which is about 12.5 ml. So I'm just going to be measuring here about 13 ml, which will approximate, since my scale does not measure in fraction. So I'll be taking my phase A and my phase B, which is the water phase and the oil phase, to my double boiler to melt thoroughly on low heat, and take them out just after they are melted. So this is my water phase and my oil phase already melted. Immediately after bringing them out, before it gets cold or anything, I'm going to be turning my oil phase into my water phase gradually. And immediately after this, get your stick blender immediately and blend. If you do not have a stick blender, you can substitute this with a blender, but lotions actually need something that mixes really very fast so that they can homogeneously mix together. So I'm gonna mix with my stick blender until I get my lotion paste. This is always one of the best parts of this lotion formulation. So using niacinamide and ascorbic acid here, like I told you, is just a tutorial, so you can do something different. It's just a tutorial to show you how to make a lotion. And using 3% as well is just for the tutorial. You can use up to 1 to 15% of your preferred active, but don't forget to extract the 15% from your water phase. So here is a lotion or the cream, whatever. And it's kind of thick still because we've not added all the water. Remember that we used part of our water to mix our actives, so it's still kind of very thick, but it is really smooth, and that is what I wanted to ensure. So here I'm going to be adding the phase C, which is the active that has already been mixed with water. If you see, it's already solidified, but if you have particles in yours, you just have to put it in your double boiler at 20 degrees Celsius for just 5 minutes. It's going to completely dissolve. So I'm going to be pouring my phase C into my formulation, and I'll be mixing together. And lastly, for my phase D, I'm supposed to be measuring them 1%, but my scale will not measure 1% for me, so I'll just go ahead and I gauge. I'll just be adding a little quantity in order to get my 1%. So that's my vitamin E oil, and I said in a calculation that that's my antioxidant. And then I'm going to be adding my preservative, which is my Jamal Plus 1%. I'm also going to be gauging this because my scale can't measure 1%. And the third on the list of excipients in phase D there is our aromatherapy. So I'm going to be adding in some drops of Nature Garden fragrance to give the lotion a distinct smell. Afterwards, I'll be adding my essential oil. Here I'll be using tea tree essential oil, so I'll be adding in some drops. Like I said in my calculation video, although we had 1% in the calculation, but you should use 0.5% because essential oils are very concentrate and they should not be used in a good amount. So that's for my 4 ingredients under excipient. And then we have others, which may include colorants and the rest. I am not going to be adding any color in this lotion, but I'm going to be adding propylene glycol. This will enable the lotion to penetrate the skin, to penetrate the layers of the skin, so that it can effect whatsoever purpose it is serving properly. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to be adding propylene glycol. So I'm going to give the lotion a final mix after incorporating all phases of my ingredients. Like I said earlier, this is just the normal basic lotion formulation. If you want to make your lotion to your preference, with the calculation that we made in the previous video, you can do just that. You can add whatsoever you want in your lotion, but make sure it is well calculated. Here is my container, a 200 ml container anyways. So I'm just going to be pouring my lotion into my container. I'm going to be keeping a little aside anyway. This I would keep in my laboratory to ascertain when it's going to expire. So I'll just keep checking it from day to day until I see when it finally gets expired. So that is how I attain my expiry dates anyways. Alright, so here's my lotion and 200 ml of lotion. So remember that we made 250 ml, so I already have 200 here and 15 ml remaining in my beaker. Let me just try this on my skin. Our active ingredients, which is vitamin C and vitamin E, I added these ingredients because I wanted my daughter to use this lotion. Anybody can actually use this lotion, so but it's safe for both babies, adults, whatever. If you just want a moisturizing feel after bath, it is not going to affect anything. Although vitamin C and vitamin B has healing properties, they help to heal wounds. They also help to keep the skin healthy and radiant. So I hope you understand how we got to this point, and I hope that you can formulate your own lotion by yourself. And if this video was helpful, please give me a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Also, do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook and on Instagram. Drop any questions you may want to ask me under the comment section, and I wish to see you in my next video. For now, take care.